Teddy Bear Hospital is a place where you can send your teddy bears and dolls and have them repaired. So after years and years of love and all the wear that comes with it, we're here to fix them. This is the actual wards, and these are patients who have come in for repair. So they'll have already gone through triage, and they'll be going onto the wards now. So on a bear like this, there's an awful lot that needs doing. He's going to lose his nose completely, that's almost gone, so that needs patching and repairing. But things like this stitching on the tummy, that might be special. That might have been put on by somebody who isn't here anymore. If somebody was to say to us, just bring him back to how he used to look, then I'd say we'd all like to look how we used to look. It's just never going to happen. If you want a bear that looks like a new bear, go buy a new bear. Often bears come to us very, very worn, and when people see them as they used to be, suddenly they're 6 again, and they're holding that teddy and they've gone back and all of the memories flood back in. So it can be incredibly emotional. We have to keep lots of packs of tissues around.
That's a good question. Why did I pick a penguin? I've always loved penguins. When I was a kid, they were my favorite thing to see at the zoo. They were always my favorite animals to watch programs about. I like that penguins are stately and respectful, and they have lots of little rituals that they do with one another. So when two penguins fall in love, they do like a little dance and they bow to each other to let them know that they really like each other, and I've always been sort of enchanted by that. If someone asks why you still have a stuffed animal, I guess I would say, why don't you still have yours? Do you stop caring about it? Does it stop being something nice to hold or a comfort object? Pengy hasn't gotten lost and hasn't been destroyed, and he makes me happy. Pengy is my stuffed animal. He's my stuffed penguin from childhood. I met Pengy when I was 5 or 6. I went to the zoo with my mom, and we went to the gift shop afterwards to look at stuffed animals. And penguins were always my favorite and her favorite animal. So I found a penguin that I wanted, but he was a little bit too expensive for me. So my mom agreed that we could split the cost. So I put all of my allowance towards it, which was probably $5, and she paid the rest. And then he joined my family. I think the idea was that we were going to have joint custody, but we formed a special bond, and he's been mine really ever since. He means the same thing emotionally to me now that he did when I was a child, which is comfort and stability. He's the perfect size to tuck under your head while you sleep. I still sleep with him in the bed. And he's a good size to hug, and he has a calming presence when I feel upset. I think he's doing okay as far as some stuffed animals are. He's got a bit of wing trouble here, which is something I need to repair. If you look closely, you can see there's lots of threads where he's been repaired in the past, but he's doing okay. He looks pretty good from afar. I think he still has that emperor penguin sense of stateliness.
My name is Kirsty Sullivan, and I am the senior producer for formal learning at the Museum of Childhood in Bethnal Green. We have some amazing bears in the museum. We're really lucky because over the years, people have seen us as a repository for their childhood memories. Soft toys in particular play a huge role in child's development because quite often they're the child's very first friend. Probably the single most popular gift after a cute baby grow that any child gets given. And I still have mine. This is my panda. And he is now 47 years old, and he came with me everywhere.
I've actually struggled with anxiety for most of my late childhood and young adult life. You're panicking, everything feels out of place, like everything's rushing around you and nothing is solid or secure, and Pengy really, for me, felt like a secure base, a consistent presence.
Soft toys do hold their importance through into adulthood, particularly if these days, when there's a huge rise in adolescent mental health, having that link to your childhood and that link to feeling safe can can very much still help.
I think it's important to form connections with things and learn the responsibility of taking care of something, and learn the risk of caring about something that can be lost or harmed. If you have a way to deal with your feelings, and that includes, hugging a stuffed animal, I think it's a good way to express yourself.
My own teddy bear probably knows more secrets about me than anybody else because they're completely trustworthy. They will never let you down. Your teddy bear is always going to be there for you. You can tell them anything you like and they're completely judgment-free.
The emotions that you feel are the same emotions that you will feel to a degree when you have a child. And that doesn't ever go away. We've met people who've been traumatized because their teddy bears were taken away from them because they were too old to have them anymore. When I was 6 or 7, I left my teddy bear in the motorway services, and the guilt that I felt was so huge. I can still feel it now in my 50s. I can still feel that massive guilt of having left her behind.
I have depression, which is fortunately medicated. But prior to that, I had some of the symptoms, and even in my university days, Panda used to come with me. Panda came to bed. It was hard to sleep without him, actually, even in my 20s. And he doesn't come to bed so often these days, but there are still moments.
We had one lady her mum had a teddy bear, and it would sit on the bed, and when the woman was a child, she'd be allowed to go in and sit on the bed and play with Teddy, but never take him out of the room. So she had these amazing memories of playing with her mother and the Teddy. When her mum passed away, the only thing she asked for was to have that Teddy. But when the family had looked for it, it was missing, and the only teddy bear they could find was kind of a quite unpleasant, squeaky, nylon-y kind of synthetic teddy bear. So she took that because it was the only one they could find. And she brought it to us when its seams started to come undone. We unpicked the seam and pulled this outer fur off, and underneath was this old teddy bear. And when we took it to the woman and took the head off, she just melted. It was, she was crying snotty bubbles. It was beautiful, and that was him. And it all kind of floods back. They're an amazing storehouse of memory and emotion.
I see myself continuing to care for Pengi and to feel like he's there for me. As things progress, something that will need to be addressed is his age. Since I've had him for so long, there's visible signs of wear now, most of which I like and just sort of remind me of all the times we've had together, or the fact that he's been with me for so long, because I feel like it's appropriate that he ages as I do, almost. But I want to take good care of him, and there are certain things that I'm going to need to repair.
As a planet, we need more menders, and we need to be teaching people the importance of fixing things. And the best way to get that message across really early is to take a child who might have thrown away a teddy bear because it's gotten old, is to make them look at it and think, can I fix it? And if you can teach them the first thought when anything is broken, whether it's a teddy bear or a relationship or your job or whatever, if it's not working well, can we fix it? That comes from learning those responsibilities as a child. And I always said to my children, if you meet a person who doesn't have their teddy anymore, find out why. If they threw it away because it got tatty, then run, because that person is going to dump you when your hair falls out or your stuffing falls into your bottom. If they can't see past the cosmetic, just go.
I've got a very old stuffed toy that I love very much, which is slowly falling apart. And I want him to be repaired before he disintegrates into several pieces. This seemed to be the best place to bring him. I mean, I'm an only child, so I guess we spend a lot of time together. When you're an only child, you kind of have to entertain yourself quite a lot of the time. We bought 3, just in case I lost one. And I lost one, and then so I have this one, and I have the backup, which is in much better condition.
I feel a little bit like Sherlock Holmes sometimes, because I go, you were a bit of a tomboy when you were young, and they go, how did you know? And it'd be the wear on the teddy bear. But also, we can sometimes say, you had a brother, with a bow and arrow, didn't you? And we can tell things like that. Or when you were little, you wanted to be a hairdresser, didn't you? Because the hair's been trimmed, or a surgeon because the growl's been removed. We had one that came in with just red lipstick all around the face, and it was like, oh, somebody wanted to be a beautician when they grew up, didn't they? So, you know, we can tell a lot about a person from their teddy bear.